Welcome to the Cairo cast, and
Ew.
Barris, I don't know if you were aware, but there's been a major crisis in the world.
Major crisis?
Yeah, man, it's been 5 days since we've recorded.
I know, this has been the longest.
Everyone is freaking
Since-
out.
Yeah, we recorded
Where's
a
my
podcast.
Cairo cast?
Where is it?
Where's it? I want to hear my two friends talk.
Episode 6, please. Where is it?
It's all I've been hearing.
Yeah.
And here we are. We sat back down. We're
Yep.
recording another one, and I want to let you guys know that the reason that we have been in
On a hiatus.
is
Damn.
not even a hiatus. It's been 5 days.
It's been 5 days.
It's been less than a week.
We're actually 1 day behind schedule. So
It's because we have a whole lot of stuff planned. We'd
Yeah.
like to kind of get these pumped out a little faster.
Oh, wait.
But we're kind of prepping for the next season release. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, before we get into all this like details about the future of the podcast and like new projects and everything, I just want to say thank you to our patrons. Andrew Santowski, you're the man. Thank you so much, dude. Your donation means so much to both Gray and I. It's gonna help the podcast in so many
Heck
different
yeah.
ways. Yeah, and then we had one other patron that I can't remember your name. Oh my god, hold on, I'll pull it up. Gray. And then we had my mom, Nergis. Thanks for the $10.
You know, it's a modest start, but honestly, it makes me feel really good.
Oh yeah,
Just to see that people care enough to send some money our way.
for sure.
All right.
Spicy cilantro. Thank you so much for the $3.
Thanks, spicy cilantro.
Thank you so much. It's
So,
very appreciated.
Before we get into the future of the podcast, I'd like to introduce a new segment I call, and this is a work in progress title, Fascinating Facts with Gray. That's it. I don't know. I have to come up with a better title.
Yeah, that's fine.
But today, I have a really interesting fact for you guys. So, I've been doing some internet surfing, as I do. You know, popping 10, hanging 10. I mean, on the internet waves.
I think it's called
And,
Hangton. Whatever.
So, when I say flamingos, what kind of a vibe comes to your mind?
What's that singer called?
Yeah, okay. Shut up. Try terrifying, okay?
Okay.
Hear this, bro. Okay, so flamingo species, they live in these super high altitude salt flats.
Okay.
And
All of them?
in these lakes that are no, but like all the species can survive in these high altitude salt flats, and a lot
Okay.
of flamingos call those areas home.
Okay.
And they're really alkaline. And if a human put their leg in that water, their skin would just dissolve. Their skin would dissolve off their bones.
What?
Flamingos just can sit in it, no problem. There's poisonous blooms of cyanobacteria, okay, in
Jeez.
these lakes. Any other animal eats it, they die. And you know what flamingos do? They
eat
eat
it.
that shit up, no problem, bro. They don't give a fuck. And guess what? They can drink scalding hot fucking water. They can, like, you know, geysers.
Mm-hmm.
They just drink it. They just go right up to it, drink it, and they can just process it and clean it in case there's not any other water. That's wild.
Why do you think that
Just
is?
boiling water. Because they're adapted. I mean, that's why they look so weird, because they're highly adapted to their situation.
Well, I feel like the reason they're in those, in that alkaline water is so no predators get to them, right?
And guess what else?
What?
When they sleep, their legs freeze into the lake.
What?
When they fall asleep in these, like, sub-zero temperatures,
Mm-hmm.
their legs
Just
freeze in the lake, and they just chill. They fall asleep. They don't give a fuck.
They don't care. Yeah, I feel like if humans ever got dropped off in the wild, we'd just die instantly.
A flamingo would be, like, taunting you
Yeah.
over your dead body. They'd be
It's
like,
just
look
a
at
flamingo, and then it would just eat your face off.
me. Honestly.
You'd go up to this, little tiny butterfly. Oh, it's poisonous. You're dead. Humans are so crap. What the heck? We're just smart. That's it.
Yeah, that's all we have going for us.
We're like that kid in middle school that's like, oh, just you wait until I grow up and I own my own company.
And you know what? We're too smart for our own good anyway, because now global warming is hitting
Oh, yeah,
us.
we're just killing
We're
ourselves.
just, like, screwing ourselves over.
Dude, flamingos, they have it good, man.
I have more respect for flamingos now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now that we've had this fascinating fact with Gray,
Where do they, I mean, the only fact I know about flamingos is the fact that they're,
well, now you know more.
they get their pink color from the shrimp
Oh, yeah.
they eat. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's Barris's fact.
All right.
So let's get into it. Future of the podcast.
Wait, do you want to save the future of the podcast for the end? Because I feel like that's the kind of, like, stuff only people who would listen to the end would care about.
Mm.
Whereas the interesting, the meat,
Well, no, because we want more
segments.
viewers, right? We want more people to be excited about it.
All right, you know what?
Yeah, just say it.
Okay.
We can go more in depth.
So
at the
first
end.
of all, I want to let you guys know. God, I don't want to say a date because I know we're gonna
just
miss it.
say in the near future.
In the near future, next month. I'll say within the next month.
Okay.
We are going to queue up, and I don't mean like within March. I mean within the next like 30 days. Although it is the beginning of March, basically within March, maybe beginning of April.
Yeah.
Me and Barris
Early April.
are going to have ready an epic drop of season 2 of the Cairo Cast, revamped for your ears.
With interviews and everything.
We have 3 interviews lined up, and once we get closer to that date, we will be teasing them.
Oh, yeah. Follow both of us on Twitter.
yeah.
And we're going to be making a CairoCast Twitter, so...
We're going to have a CairoCast Twitter, which we will shout out at the end of this podcast.
At CairoCast.
If we can get it.
I mean, yeah. It's already up.
Maybe CairoCast Show.
It'll be up by the time people...
If it's not at CairoCast, it's at CairoCast Show.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we have a whole bunch of things down the line.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about.
We're very excited for it.
We're going to start at the vlog soon. We've been doing some practice vlogging occasionally.
Yep.
And most relevant to this podcast, we have a second podcast, which is a more narrative, professional, produced podcast, which I don't want to talk too much about. Can
we say the name?
Yeah.
Project 18?
Project 18.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. I've been working on some introductions. Me and Barris have been kind of workshopping it, seeing what sounds good.
We've been figuring out the kinks.
And don't
testing
worry,
it out.
that podcast will not slow down this podcast.
For sure.
This podcast will still be coming out twice a week. I think we can...
Well, once we're done with school, I think we can pump it out 3 times a week. And
if people want to listen to it that much.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good demand for it from what we've been seeing and hearing. But 18 will be a more curated, more artistic.
It's not this. It's not us talking. It's an audio story. It's like it's like an audio book, but not really. It's like us. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, no, just be excited for it. We're very excited for it.
Exactly.
It's gonna be very great. It's gonna be one of the cooler things Gray and I have produced.
Exactly, and they're gonna be only 20 minutes, much more bite-sized.
Yeah.
Maybe even 15. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely shorter than this podcast.
Definitely shorter. Definitely like bite-sized, like drive to work. Life.
Oh, and I think we're gonna be working on a highlights channel.
Yeah,
of
we're
the
gonna be
CairoCast?
clipping our favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
So comment on our SoundCloud about your favorite clips.
Yeah.
Just comment #highlights.
Cool.
And when we see that, we'll take that into account, and we're going to be uploading those highlights. I'm talking 3 to 5 minute clips.
Yep.
To our YouTube channel, which is just CairoCast, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, let's with all that out of the way.
Oh, and thank you to everyone that's commented and liked the podcast.
Honestly, we love interaction.
Yeah.
More we can get, the better.
Even if we don't reply, we've probably seen it and had a laugh and thought about it. So yeah, let's take it away.
All right, so with all that out of the way, let's put our bibs on, get our fork, get our steak knife, and dig into the meat of the show. So we have a few topics lined up for today.
As always.
As always, we might veer onto a couple other topics, but we have a few really big ones we want to get onto. So the first one, talent. Are you born with it, or do you earn it? Do you work for it? Second one, self-worth. And I'll let you introduce this one because it's more your idea than mine.
Yep. Oh, I thought that was
just explain what the actual idea is.
All right. So this was something I just thought of in class when I was talking to Gray. And he said this thing where he was like, "Oh, I'm probably not gonna get accepted to college," and dude, that made me so upset. Like, teenagers or anyone in the 21st century, I feel like, has a self-worth issue, and I'm not saying that I don't have it. I definitely have it. It was a lot worse for me a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it was when I got accepted to college. Like before that, like around that time, I had a self-worth problem. It's along the same lines as the problem you had. But the self-worth problem in our age is you're either you lack self-worth or you just have too much of it. And I think a good example of having too much of it is Logan Paul.
I think I don't feel like I have too little self-worth.
I don't think you have little self-worth, but I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I don't want this podcast to just turn into
No, we're not just like,
us jerking each other
beating
off,
each other off. No.
You
said, "Oh, I probably didn't get accepted to this college." And that's bullcrap, cuz literally I thought I wasn't going to get into college either. But hey, I did. And
but the thing is, God, it's just going to turn into us jerking each other off. The thing is, you're applying to art colleges, and you're a fantastic artist. Like, your portfolio is amazing, so why would you doubt that?
Okay, but literally, I can literally turn that around and say that to you, too. You have a job. You worked for a company. You coded. You're coding. You have a job right now.
No schools are going, yo, submit your code portfolio.
I mean, they're going to Google your name. What comes up when you Google Gray Lewis?
Not me, I don't think.
Really?
Oh. But I'm hoping my letters of rec will push me over the line.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure, dude.
Anyway,
sure.
I don't want to talk about this on the podcast. It's kind of an embarrassing topic.
But yeah, I feel like people nowadays, because of all this social media and like looking at all these other people succeeding and stuff, you kind of don't give anyone. This could apply to anyone. You just don't give yourself the credit you deserve, and maybe it's not just a generational thing, and. Oh, Marley's just barking.
I'll put him outside. Crap.
We're outside. But yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I don't think the mics can pick it up.
I think it's gonna definitely pick it up.
Well, right, you're hearing Marley's input. He's saying, "Oh, you guys are very, very
pause the podcast. I'm gonna handle this problem."
No, it's cool. You can just do it while I explain my thing.
I got you.
Yeah. So, and I don't think it's a generational thing where people just don't give themselves enough credit. I mean, it could be, or it either could not be. But because of all this social media and this effect of all these other people, I mean, we're more connected than ever, like in the history of the world. So, and you're seeing all these different people succeeding, or I mean, maybe failing, or doing well in their lives, making money, those kinds of things. You kind of, it's a normal human thing to compare yourself to other people, right? Because I mean, that's how you interact with people. You compare yourself. You're like, oh, okay, well, how's my life compared to this person's? And when you do that, you kind of don't, you lose sight on the things that you've accomplished as a human being as well. In Gray's case, he's had a job at like 16, getting paid more money than probably like 70% of people on Earth. That's pretty incredible. I think we just need to give ourselves a whole lot more credit. Because like when I got accepted to college, dude, I was so surprised. Because I'm telling you, I did not think I was going to get into college. I simply did not. I was prepared for it. I was like, I don't want to get accepted to college. I like told my friends, I was like, oh, at this point, I just don't want to get accepted to college anymore. It's going to motivate me more to not get accepted, and I'll like work hard over our gap year and stuff like that. But I mean, I got accepted. And like, you just have to give yourself way more credit.
Damn, I like that.
Anyone, even
yeah,
whoever's listening to this podcast, just give yourself more credit. You're worth so much more than you think you are.
Well, I think that's really nice. Dang. I think that's really nice. What a response. I don't know
Preach.
how I need to kind of come up with a way to say now. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think a lot of that has to do with social media.
Yeah.
I don't know if you touched on that.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, I want your input as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with social media. I know in the olden days, so to speak, it was just clothes and that kind of stuff. I feel like nowadays it's gotten so extra. I watched a video yesterday about these, I don't know what to call them, kind of like wish fulfillment social media stars, where they'll just be traveling and like having tons of money and riding private jets, and that's their job.
Yeah.
They just post pictures of that to Instagram.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of a self-destructive habit.
Yeah.
To like watch other people to watch other people fulfill their dreams. And I'm sure some people get stuff out of it. Some people get some motivation out of it. But, you know, not everyone's going to be able to live that life.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't mean anything. Like, people can't just all travel all the time.
Yeah, it's not a realistic life.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe 1% of the world will do that.
Oh my God, if.
Yeah, maybe not even 1% of the world.
0.001%.
Yeah, I mean, no. It's just not a realistic life goal to have, and because social media glorifies all these people, young people kind of see this as like this is what success is.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be happy if I ride a private jet. Like I'm only gonna be happy if I wear Louis Vuitton and Gucci or Supreme. Like no.
Yeah, I mean every time I've had success or like achieved a goal in my life, getting there was so much more fun than having the reward.
Yeah.
Like when I'm waiting for a new phone to arrive, being excited for it to come is more fun than having it.
Yeah.
Because like having it is like, oh, it's just a phone.
Yeah, you get bored of it after a week. Like not bored of it, but like
you know what I mean. Like after a week, it's like it becomes a part of your life. It's not exciting, but like
imagine that with the flying.
Yeah, like you're gonna be like, man.
It's gonna be cool for the first year or two, and you're like, oh god, I just want to settle down. But like, nope, that's your job.
I feel like the only truly fulfilling thing in life is kind of just living a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel almost any other path, like you will get worn out, and if you only are happy all the time, you're gonna end up depressed.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it comes down to. Because I think the things that keep me the most grounded are the most boring. Like doing laundry, doing the dishes. Stuff like that is what really keeps me grounded and feeling like a person.
Like those simple tasks.
I feel like that's really important. My dad taught me that.
What did he say?
Basically what I just said. He just said, you know...
So the simple things in life?
Not the simple things, but he was saying, like, in my life... Basically what he was saying was you have to build routine so that breaking routine feels good.
Right.
You have to have a routine for, like, a special thing to feel good.
Yeah,
if you're just traveling all the time, traveling just becomes your life. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't bring you joy. It's just like, okay, this is my life. Like, basically, doing dishes and stuff brings you this, like, menial task kind of joy where it's just like, okay, I'm done with that. And that like, gives you a little bit of a... It makes you feel kind of okay. Good, it feels good to complete your chores.
Yeah.
But do you really want traveling to just feel like completing chores?
Hell no.
So I kind of feel like that's what happens. And, so yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess traveling as a lifestyle would be cool for the first, like, 2-3 years.
And that's why I think our gap year is perfect.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're going from we have zero control and we're going to, like, just live it up and, like, just really see what the world has to offer and then come back to reality. And,
also...
And become the people we actually want to be for the rest of our lives.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Also, I think something that people should do more often is just do art.
I just realized I'm talking about these wish fulfillment people, and that's basically going to be us.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're not flying on private jets or anything.
Yeah, we're just flying business class.
Maybe.
God dang it. But apart from business class, we're going to be poor as
No, yeah, we're going to be eating freaking sandwiches out of gutters.
Yeah, it's fine. What was I saying? I think one thing that keeps people very happy is art.
I agree.
And I think people are doing so much less art than before.
You think?
Like people always have this excuse, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not an art person." No, everyone's an art person. Like, you just...
Do you really think people do less art? I feel like it's way more accessible now to make art. I feel like it's in other I feel like it's in other forms, but I feel like people still do it.
How many young people do you know that as a pastime they'll go out and paint? Or, like, create something.
A lot of people. A lot of people write. A lot of people write poetry. A lot of people...
And now compare it to, like...
I mean, I don't know what it was like back then.
100 years ago. I mean, we do. Because, like, painting was a pastime. Playing music was, like, a huge pastime.
Maybe playing music is less prevalent.
Like, I don't know. This is just the feeling I'm getting. I obviously haven't lived through people's lives. So I just feel like people are doing a lot less art.
I feel like
they'll be playing video games or like
either way,
whatever.
More art is better.
Yeah, it feels so good to do art.
It really does. Which is part of what scares me about this gap year is what we were talking about before about how traveling can start to feel like chores.
Yeah.
And I don't want art to feel that way, you know?
Oh, definitely not. As long as we mix it up and just have fun. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think in a year, I think we'll be fine.
I think we'll be more than fine. I think we'll love it. I want
to love it, and I think the trick to that is going to be making sure we're always doing new things and innovating.
Yeah.
Forcing ourselves to get better.
Yeah, I mean, just having control of our lives, like 100% control of our lives, is going to feel so freaking good. Yeah, it's going to bring...
True. It's going to be scary.
It's going to bring tons of challenges, like, all right, laundry, keeping clean, like, how are we going to spend our money? But with that comes just freedom. And I don't think we've felt certain degrees of freedom, right? But we've never felt 100% freedom. And I'm so excited for that. And I guess that's a very like coming of age thing to feel, right?
Yeah. I think that experience is a big part of what I want to share with the vlog and the podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, just personally, I want to be able to look back on that time and be able to remember it.
Yeah, like 30. You're like
properly.
30. You're like 40 years old and you have kids, and you get to show them like what you did when you were 18. And
my whole life has kind of led up to this moment of like
when
you're a kid, you always just want to be older, and we're kind of reaching the point where we're not going to want to be older anymore.
Yeah, I've already felt it.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've felt nostalgia, but I guess what I mean is like soon there's not going to be anything to look forward to.
Yeah, kind of.
Like 18, you get to like be an adult, drive, have a PayPal. 21, you get to drink, I guess.
Oh, 25, you get to gamble.
Rent a car.
And rent a car, yeah.
Um,
Would you ever gamble?
Nah.
You wouldn't?
Nah.
I feel like I would. Just
if I'm gonna gamble, I'm gonna invest.
Buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, that's a gamble, but at least like almost anything is a better investment than just going to a casino. You know?
I don't know. I feel like I'd if I have the resources.
Send some poor podcasters some Patreon money.
Shit, yeah.
Don't gamble.
Don't gamble. You're gonna get freaking assassinated by Las Vegas. These like, what are they called? These casino companies. I don't know. I feel like I'd go once.
I mean, yeah. I'm obviously gonna do it before I die. But
it's on the bucket list.
No, but it's just gonna happen. I mean, if I go to Vegas, it's not like I'm just gonna sit around being like, man, these slot machines are
very nice.
lighty.
Yeah, I mean, I'd play a hand of poker. Poker is fun.
Poker, I see.
Poker's fun.
To me, in my current mindset...
like when I say gambling, do you just see the slot machines?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I see like casino games. I don't see like blackjack. But
what about...
blackjack, I feel like would be fun.
What's that thing called? Roulette? Would you do roulette?
My dad always plays roulette.
That's fun.
He puts down like 40 on black, and that's all he does. He'll put down 40 on black. If he loses, he leaves, and if he wins, he leaves. That's
Has he ever won?
Yeah, he wins like I don't know 40% of the 48% of the time because that's how it works.
Wow, not bad.
Like it's half black, half red, and you double your money if you land on black. So and part of the reason that he does that is because whenever they go gambling, I always chastise them because when I was a kid, I really was kind of offended by the idea of gambling. I don't know why, but I guess a lot of it was like I don't have any money, so the idea that my parents like won't buy me an Xbox, but they'll go downstairs and just like throw $100 at a machine and lose it all for no reason was kind of like tilting. But
who did that? This one guy went to Las Vegas and he put like $3,000 down for black and he won. Oh, it was on David Dobrik's vlog.
I think you showed me that vlog.
His friend just like went down to the casino. And he put $3,000 down on black, and he'd been wanting to do so for like a long time, and he just wins. Imagine, dude.
Imagine losing, though.
Oh man.
See, this is a really interesting part of human psychology because humans are very loss averse. We have this inherently loss is more dangerous to us than gain. Is how our minds see it. Like,
yeah.
There was this study, this like famous experiment that's like really easy to do. You go out on the street and you basically give someone like, okay, so I'm gonna flip a coin, and we're gonna call the coin, and if I win, you give me $1, and if you win, I'll give you $2.
Right.
And people won't do it.
They won't?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I'd take it.
It's something like that.
Well, I feel like a more extreme case would be like in the wild, where you're like, okay, you could get this fruit, but you could also die.
Studies suggest that loss is twice as powerful as. It's better not to lose $5 than to find $5.
It's better to lose $5?
Psychologically, in decision theory.
Ah. Really?
Yeah.
That's
Loss aversion implies that one who loses $100 will lose more satisfaction than another person will gain satisfaction from a $100 gain.
Ah. So it's like this like plus minus thing.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
That's why trial periods work, because you give it to someone
right,
for
you have
free,
it and they lose it.
And you already get no, because you'll get it for free. You get used to the gains of it.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so the gains feel more real than the loss.
Well, I mean, you gain it, you have it, and then it's just stripped from you.
Well, that's not how they're framing it on this article.
Oh, okay. Well, the way I saw it was like, you had this, let's say you got plus 50, like, happiness.
Yeah.
And then you lose it, and losing 50, or let's say you'd lose 100 happiness, right?
Yeah.
Because you lost it. So you'd be like, fuck, I want that thing again. God, I hate trial versions.
Me too.
I used to play this game, called this fish tank game.
Oh my god, I think I know what you're talking
PopCap?
about. Fish Tycoon?
No, it was a PopCap game.
Yeah, I remember PopCap though.
Yeah.
They made Fish versus sorry. They made Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
Fish versus Zombies.
They made what's it called? Bookworm.
Man,
that was such a fun
did you ever
game.
play Fish Tycoon?
Is it where you had this fish tank and you buy fish and these aliens come?
And people sell it. Yeah, people come in to your store.
I guess it's called Fish Tycoon, yeah. No. So the game I'm talking about is you have just one fish tank. And like it's your computer screen and you like fill it up with your fish. Oh yeah, that's it.
Fish
That's
Tycoon.
it. Oh, okay.
But like you have this tank and you fill it up with fish, but then like there's like two like parts of the game. You have that part in the tank, but then like it like zooms out, quote unquote, and then like people start walking into your store and they like buy it or don't.
Oh. See, I never got that far because I always played the trial version.
Yeah, and you have to like breed them and stuff, and find like rare fish.
Right, I remember that. That was so much fun. Dude, I used to play
Lemonade Tycoon. Did you ever play Lemonade Tycoon?
No, I didn't.
That was a fun one. You had to like balance how much ice and sugar and lemons you would use based on like how hot it was and stuff.
Holy shit.
And you would like so you had to like guess how much people would buy that day basically. It was really weird.
Dude, simpler times.
And like try to like make a perfect lemonade formula. That was fun.
Interesting. Have you played Bookworm?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, you haven't played Bookworm?
What is it?
Dude, it's the most fun game ever. So it's this it's this worm. His name is Lex, and he like gets transported into this like adventure book, and he has to fight all these.
God, this sounds lame.
No, it's so much fun, dude. I'd literally play it now. He has to fight all these like things to get his like girlfriend back.
So like Mario.
Kind of, yeah. It's like the Mario formula, but to like kill those monsters, you have to like spell out words and stuff.
I mean, I played games like that.
I played that game religiously, dude.
What was that other game made by PopCap, I think, where it was like you had a cannon in the center and there was like a trail wrapping around towards you. And
Zuma.
Zuma.
That was fun.
That was fun too. When I would go to Staples, you know Staples?
Yeah.
When I would go to Staples, I would get on the laptops and they always had PopCap games,
Mhm.
the free trial versions,
Yeah,
and I would
yeah.
play them.
I think I was 3 years old. I remember this perfectly.
That's weird.
I had a big ass computer, like those like giant computer monitors that are
the
like
same thing.
that big.
Yeah, and they're like really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those. I think it was my uncle's, and he gave it to us. I'd wake up in the morning. I'd like climb onto the chair, and I'd play Zoomer for like 5 hours.
Dang. You were a bored child.
Dude,
do you remember like playing video games as a kid and like not being able to figure them out at all?
Oh, not at all.
Still just playing them for hours?
Yeah. When I was, I think, 6 years old, I got my first PlayStation 2, and my dad is German. He bought this German game. It's actually Kingdom of Hearts. Have you heard of that game?
Oh, Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
The Disney one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game was so much fun, but I had it in German.
So you had no idea.
So I got stuck on the 3rd level, and I just couldn't figure out how to get past it.
So do you know RuneScape?
Yes. How do I? Come on.
When I was a kid, my best friend, shout out to you, best friend, you know I'm talking about if you're listening. I would go over to his house, and his brothers and his dad played RuneScape. And I would we would like take turns playing. And I would like play RuneScape, but I didn't know how to play RuneScape at all. But I thought I was like really into like I was like, wow, man, does it look fun to chop down those trees. So I just had like level 80 woodcutting and like level 80 fire starting and nothing else. Maybe like level 20 fishing.
It's interesting when you're a kid, you like to do these like weird, tedious tasks.
It's weird. There's actually like a measurement of like how adult you are. An indicator of that is how easily you're bored.
Right.
Like there was this girl who was do you know the idea of feral children, like children who were raised by like wolves or dogs?
Yeah.
There was this girl who was raised by, and I'm kind of like I know this happened, but the details aren't in my head. But she was raised by some animal, I think dogs. Her parents were like drunkards. And they just like didn't notice she was missing, and she was just living in the yard.
Jeez.
They like hit her really badly one day, and she was only like 3. And she like left, and she went in the yard, and she's like really well documented.
Holy crap!
People saved her. But she went into the yard, and she got raised by these dogs, and then she grew up, and like she kind of got rehabilitated, and they like taught her how to speak English, and they re-socialized her, but she was always at like a 5-year-old level, and one of the symptoms was she was never bored. Like she was just entertained by the dumbest things.
Wow, that's so interesting. I mean, you need to have that ability. I mean, obviously she didn't have anything to entertain her, right? So you just get like
and when you're growing up, you need more stimulation. You need more interesting things, because when you're a kid, like your brain is driving you to explore and learn new things, and when you're a kid, you know nothing. So just like figuring out that X does Y, like, I mean, a very simple relationship is like exciting. As
a toddler, like not even a toddler, as a baby, you're just like performing millions of science experiments, right?
Yeah, basically.
You knock a paper off the edge of the table, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is how it works. If I do this, the paper falls. There's something that like, and you make all these weird connections in your brain. But I don't think it's that. It's the fact that we have so much stimuli.
Yeah.
The amount of stimuli we have as just a whole being,
especially now,
is so crazy and over the top. But we don't even fully understand how much it like impacts us and our psychology.
My parents have always been really worried about that. That's why like my parents used to not want me to be on the computer for more than like 2 hours a day and stuff like that, because they were always worried that just being overstimulated would fuck up your brain.
I mean, even I noticed myself
fudge up.
I noticed myself getting bored so insanely quickly.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to like getting on my phone, pressing an app, scrolling down, finishing the new items, and just like switching over to another one, scrolling down.
Free endorphins.
Yeah. And we've gotten so used to just getting all these like small dopamine hits over and over and over again. It's like it's literally comparable to a drug.
Yeah, and
with that, you kind of like train your body just to need this constant stimuli, right?
Like, do you remember how exciting Minecraft was?
Dude, It was so awesome.
It was crazy, dude.
Yes.
Those like days, those like first 5 days that I was playing Minecraft, I was literally like so immersed in this world.
Yeah.
I couldn't think about
it was like
else.
magic. You're like, anything is possible.
Me and my friend, I kid you not. So I was on the computer. I played for 2 hours. My parents kicked me off.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. Me and my friend stayed up all night until 6 a.m. just planning things we wanted to do in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's how crazy exciting it was.
'Cause
we didn't even have to be playing Minecraft. We stayed up for 10 hours just talking about things that we could do in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. And like I remember the first time I discovered iron, I was like, ugh,
Yeah, because
it was crazy.
when I started playing Minecraft, I didn't use a walkthrough or I didn't learn about it.
I just figured it out.
You just figure it out, and while you're figuring it out, you're like, literally anything is possible in this game right
And
now.
nothing has been as satisfying as that.
As like figuring
my
Minecraft
entire-
out.
The entire rest of my life has not been as fulfilling as those 5 days.
Honestly, that holds some truth. That holds some
joke.
truth to it.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I was scared. I was excited.
Dude, mobs were terrifying.
I was so scared.
I was like, I want to build a bow, but
I don't know how.
no, I was like, so I want to build a bow, but I need to kill spiders, but I don't want to like attack spiders because I'm definitely gonna die if I just like walk up to them.
Mhm.
But I need a bow to kill them from a distance, so I'm just screwed.
You just like hidden that like 2x1
Yeah,
little
dirt,
hole.
just dig down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Dude, I loved Minecraft so much.
so fun.
We went on vacation once, and I didn't play Minecraft for 2 months. On the way back, I was like, I can't. All I want to do is just farm cobblestone. And I got home and I farmed cobblestone for an hour and a half.
No, you didn't.
I swear.
When I, so I had that first like hit of like exploration.
Yeah.
When I first found out Minecraft, and then when I got Skyblock, it happened all over again.
Skyblock was crazy.
Skyblock was so fun. It completely changed it. And by the way, if you didn't play Minecraft, I'm not even going to explain this stuff to you because you don't deserve to understand it.
Honestly, no.
You should have played Minecraft. Like, it's cringe now because we're teenagers, but man, I don't blame kids for
I
getting
played
so
Minecraft
excited
this
about
morning.
it. Yeah, I know. We're closeted Minecraft players still.
I'm not
But
even
you know what I
closeted.
mean?
I'm not
Like,
embarrassed.
We're still, we don't play it as much as we used to.
No, I play
And I
it all the
definitely am not as excited about it as like kids on the internet.
Oh, definitely not.
But like, I don't blame them for being excited about it.
Yeah, it's an awesome game.
Like, I don't understand why
It's-
they get like. I understand kids are dumb and cringy.
It's
but
made for
man,
kids.
They like. If I grew up in this world that they have right now, I'll be a very different person.
Oh yeah.
Because like I grew up playing very limited games. I didn't get a laptop that was capable of playing actual video games until I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, neither did I.
So up until then, I was playing like Box Heads, which
You
was
play
like a
those-
zombie flash game.
Yeah, you play those
Line
Flash games
Rider.
online.
Did you play Line Rider?
Yep.
That was the first thing that was. I was like one of the first things that was like, man, creativity is fun. I would spend hours
Knowledge is power.
just listening to the 2 songs on repeat. Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy, and In Too Deep by Sum 41.
Jeez.
I would just listen to these two songs on repeat, and I would literally play Line Rider for 5-6 hours at a time. And man, I was elaborate. Like I do not have the focus in any portion of my life that I had to dedicate to Line Rider.
Yeah.
It was like really crazy.
Yeah, it was actually insane. I don't know. The middle portion of my life, I didn't actually play that many video games or like go online that much, because I went to Laguna, which is a small town, like a really back in like 2005, it was tiny. You had I think 150 houses and like 2 hotels. It was a resort town.
Yeah.
And I lived there for 3 years, I think. And there the Wi-Fi was awful. So I literally would go outside every day.
Yeah.
Just play, make stuff. And then after that, I went to Mexico where we just didn't have a TV or like working internet. So again, I was just like,
At all?
Nope, nothing.
How did your parents survive?
I don't know. Oh, I think they had like I think we had a little bit of internet, but I don't remember using it at all. Like it would barely work actually, and we used to go to the mall to use the internet there.
Well, growing up, my parents, as I was saying, were very strict about letting me use the computer. I think I got to play 2 hours max, and this I didn't even really play on the computer at all until I turned like 12. Alone, I mean. Before that, I would play with that friend on the weekends that I was talking about.
Right.
But man, going outside was just, God, it was so fun. Like,
I hope
the imaginary games I would play, like my whole world was completely open. There was no ideas of like racism or like
nothing
messed up violence. Like all I wanted to do was like get cool looking sticks.
Yeah.
And, like fight my friends and pretend they were swords.
Did you do you have action figures?
Nah.
Dude, I had tons of action figures. See, that's a really interesting thing. I'm a more introverted person, and you're, I feel like, more extroverted, like more extroverted than I am. You had tons of friends to hang out with as a kid, right?
Yeah, I kind of had to because I didn't have. I guess you were an only child too.
Yeah, I was an only child, but in Laguna, I think, because it was such a small town, I had like 4 friends that I'd hang out with like once a week.
Yeah.
And the other times, I'd just be alone, and I'd just play with my action figures. And especially in Mexico, I had one friend.
I was really bad at hanging out alone as a kid. Like, I had like a tier list of friends basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had my phone. We had like a normal like landline phone.
Right.
One of the like the handsets that you can carry around.
Yeah.
And it had contacts on it. So I had all my friends on the contact list, and one by one I would go through. Will can't hang out. Wait.
And you just go to the next person. Right.
Dropped name dropping anyway. X can't hang out. Bye. Y can't hang out. Bye. Z can't hang out. I'll go the whole way down the list.
Yeah.
And then if no one could hang out, I was just like, what am I gonna do?
That was like the complete opposite thing for me. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to hang out with people.
Really?
Yeah. No. I'd like my mom would like Varys, you're hanging out with this person. I'd be like, okay, cool. But like, otherwise, I just sit down with my action figures. I just like make up like cool stuff.
Me.
I didn't start hanging out like more often with people until like middle school.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with myself.
Man, all I ever wanted to do was just like get together with people and play imaginary games.
See, no, I mean, I don't know.
And that's weird because you grew up in an environment where people around you were probably more like you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I kind of grew up with people where I was the outsider. So that's interesting.
I think, yeah, I mean, I just made this connection now. That maybe that's why I'm such an introverted person. I'm not terribly introverted. I definitely know more people. I know people that are like even more introverted than I am, but I'm kind of not to myself, but I have a very like core group of friends, and I won't really explore anything out of it too much.
Well, you're gonna have to this next year.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for you, and
you're
worried
terrified
that you're gonna like not be able to handle it. Not that you will like die or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like
it'll be difficult.
I'm gonna want to go out and like meet people, and you're gonna be like, can we just like watch movies or something?
Dude, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna push myself
have
too.
To come out
yeah, I'm gonna push myself. I'm not gonna do it every single time.
I think the easiest thing, like we'll be staying at hostels, and hostels organize like social events and stuff.
Right.
So we'll just go to those. We'll just like agree that every hostel we stay at, we have to go to like a minimum amount of events.
Right. I mean, I'm definitely gonna try my best, but being social takes so much out of me.
Really?
So much, because I feel like I have this like social.
Like being social isn't like meeting new people or just like hanging out with.
Just
people.
hanging out with people.
Like this is taking a lot. Of
No.
for you?
You're my like. I have like a group of, let's say, 5 like really close friends that are like family to me pretty much. They're on the same tier as family. Like you don't get tired hanging out with your family, but like anyone else, I kind of have this like social barriers that comes out.
Social barriers.
And it's like this, and it's like this shield, this meter that like I fill up, and then hanging out with all these people, like going to parties and stuff, kind of like deplete it slowly, and then like
you have fun.
I have tons of fun, but like while this thing is up, I'm fine. But like as I it's like mana, as I kind of use it up. Oh, dude.
It's hunger in Minecraft.
Oh no.
Down.
As it kind of depletes, I'll get more introverted, and I'll get really quiet, and then I'll be like thinking to myself. And this happened at this last party we went to, where towards the end I was like, oh my god, I just want to go home. I'm so tired.
Wait, this was last weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
but
that's interesting.
Yeah. It just depleted, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not asking for people to feel bad for me.
I feel
like,
bad for you, Bears.
No.
I think you're a little loser, and I'm sorry you don't have friends.
It's just this thing. It's just this weird quirk that like.
I don't think it's a quirk. I think there's very clearly Like, some people are like me and some people are like you.
Yeah.
I think the way that psychologists define it is, like, if you... Like, you were basically right on the dime. If like, refilling your energy happens when you're alone, then you're an introvert. And if refilling your energy happens when you're with other people, you're an extrovert.
I think I'm a little mix of both, because sometimes I just want to hang out with people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very, like, normal human thing. Like, if I didn't want to hang out with people, that'd be a problem.
For me, relaxing is like chilling with my friends.
Right.
Like, if I've had a really long day, all I want to do is just, like, go out to dinner with my friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know. It's very different for me. Sometimes I'll feel like hanging out with friends, but sometimes if I've had a really hard day around lots of people, I'll just be like, just leave me alone. I just want to, like, sit on my computer and just, like, watch YouTube and be alone for a little bit.
The only time that I can remember, like, really rejecting people to hang out with them was when I discovered Tekkit.
Oh my god.
I discovered Tekkit.
That's a Minecraft
for those of you who
mod, by
don't
the
know,
way.
it's a Minecraft mod pack.
Mod pack.
Which is, like, Minecraft discovery and, like, exploration.
Times a million.
Meth. It is crazy, bro. It has, like, these things that I'm already really into, which is, like, so lame, but, like, infrastructure and, like, power grid design. It's basically just coding.
Yeah.
And, like, that is kind of like that kind of critical thinking, which
Yeah.
I was already super into at that age. And, man.
I was super into Tekkit too.
I was gone, bro. I literally did not talk to anyone for, like, 3
Yeah.
days. It was crazy.
I discovered Tekkit around the same time. Actually, no. I discovered Tekkit when I was living in Saudi Arabia, and that's where I kind of started hanging out with friends. I started playing Tekkit, and I just wouldn't get off my computer.
Oh, yeah.
I almost failed 6th grade because of Tekkit.
Tekkit? Oh, God, dude. It's so fun.
I was so sad when they removed out the alchemy thing.
Dude, they ruined it.
Yeah, that's...
Dude, is there anyone who doesn't have that opinion?
Yeah.
That was, like, what made Tekkit.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to get pissed off about a freaking Minecraft mod pack.
I think they removed it because the people who made the mods, who made the alchemy mod, stopped making it.
No, they redesigned it.
Oh, right. They
Alchemy 3 came
right,
out.
Right. They redesigned the alchemy. Oh, God.
To anyone who doesn't play Minecraft, not even Minecraft, to anyone who doesn't play Tekkit, this is all gibberish. But anyway, I kind of want to move back to the big topic because, I mean, that was a really fun discussion.
Yeah, that was very
fun.
fun.
Good, but
yeah, no,
it seems like you have a lot of feelings about this topic, and you really wanted to talk about it, and I feel like we kind of veered off course and crashed into a lake. So, let's just like rewind. Let's take a quick tea break.
Quick ad break. Oh, right, we don't have any ads. Okay, well.
This episode is brought to you by Marley.
Mark.
Marley's a dog.
Meow.
He's super nice.
Damn, what if we
Alright.
could do that? Be like, here are some ads.
I actually, if anyone wants to advertise, we're super interested in picking up advertisers.
Oh, I mean,
even like local advertisers. If you just want us to, like,
Yeah.
promote your mixtape, we'll have very reasonable.
actually,
prices.
we might even not. Never mind.
Okay.
We want money.
Yeah. Self-worth. So
Mm.
let's get back on track. So I'll cue off this part of the discussion because I've kind of, the idea has been brewing in my mind. A stew
I
has
like
been
it.
forming, if you will. I feel like for me, my self-worth, and I'll use self-worth and ego interchangeably.
Okay.
I just feel like they're the positive and negative sides of the same coin. They are either at a 0 or 100. I don't know if it's like that for a lot of people, but for me, if someone compliments me, I feel freaking amazing about myself. Or if I just like happen to like how the way I look in a mirror, or I
Right.
do something that I'm proud of,
Right.
I'll be freaking on cloud 9. I'm like the best human on the planet. I can do anything. And then the second someone's like, you kind of like walk funny, I'm like, oh god,
Oh yeah, you
critical
just get,
hit, dude.
you're just destroyed.
critical hit. And I just like collapse, and I'm just like, oh god, I look weird, etc. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not necessarily on either end of the spectrum. I'm kind of in between, and I think most people are. But what do you think is the cause of this problem you're diagnosing society with, other than the advent of social media?
I don't know. I think it's this very human need to fit into a group.
Mm.
So when someone criticizes you, it hits you a lot harder because you're like, oh, damn it, I need to fit in here. Like, I need this person to like me so I have a better chance of surviving, right? What was I going to say? Yeah, so it's like this very like normal human psychological reaction to being either complimented or criticized. When when you're complimented,
That's
you get really happy because you're like, oh, I fit in. I'm part of this group. Or you're like, oh, I'm part of this group, or better yet, I'm the leader.
Yeah.
These guys look up to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that has a lot to do with what I was kind of talking about because growing up, I don't know if this is true, but growing up, people kind of would, like teachers and my parents and people would kind of give me this title of like, oh, you're a natural born leader. Do people ever do that to you?
No.
Well,
not at all.
It was kind of like I don't know what it means exactly, but
were you just
I think I was just like slightly more mature. I think I just had like slightly more I don't know. I don't know. No matter what I say, I kind of sound like a jackass.
No, it's fine. You're just
I was kind of
analyzing.
like interested in school and stuff from a younger age than most people.
I think you're very verbal. You have very strong ideas, and you like taking charge.
Okay, yeah, we'll call it the combination of that. I think that's a good way to put it. I feel like I have a very there was times in my life where I was like, yeah, I'm a natural born leader, and I would put myself in those positions to take charge. But the moment that other people would take charge, my ego would crash, and I no longer had the confidence to take charge. So I feel like maybe there's kind of there's people who aren't there's people who are kind of, when they're growing up, they're kind of like put into these roles of power,
right?
Or not power, but you know they're like, they're expected to, I don't know, lead in some way as a kid. And for them, maybe it's more being in control and having that kind of power is more important to their psychology than other people. I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling, but it seems like there are like very different ways that people feel about self-worth that are very like split. Like a bunch of people feel this way and a bunch of people feel that way.
Right.
That's what I've kind of gained from talking to different people, because I know there are people who, no matter what people say to them, they feel great about themselves, and I know that there are people who, no matter what people say to them, they feel shit about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess before, when I was younger, I literally did not care about what people thought about me, and there's still kind of this like hint of that still remnant in myself.
And that's a trait that I really admire about you, and that's a trait that I've consciously tried to kind of push onto myself ever since I started doing drama. I was kind of like, that was an ideal that I had always been like in my head. It's like the people who don't care about what other people think, they're the cool ones.
Yeah, I mean, you're just doing your thing, and that's one thing that I was like very at a very young age, like consciously. It was a very conscious decision that I made, just like you wanting to be more outgoing and stuff, right? It was a conscious decision I made to be like, hey, I feel really shitty when I care about other people's opinions on me. What if I just stop like caring? Because like, you know, at the end of at the bottom line, it's only what matters is what I think of myself, right? And like the very like core group of people around me.
You're the only person who you'll be with for the rest of your life.
So it doesn't matter what other people think of you. Like, especially in high school, people are like, oh, this person, they're going to laugh at me. Like, dude, who cares? Who actually cares? You're going to see these people for another 2 years, and then you're probably not going to see them ever for the rest of your life. Do what you want to do.
It's really hard to take yourself out of that, though.
Just be happy. I'm acting like this is very easy, but this is a really... possibly one of the hardest things you can do as a person. Just like stop caring about what people think, because
it's built into us.
Yeah, you're hardwired to care about what people think. And I feel like if you can break that, you're truly going to be happy with yourself, with your environment.
But I mean, to some extent, you have to care what people think.
Of course. But like, if you care about that person,
overcome that.
It's like a two-way thing. If you care about that person, then you'll respect their opinion on yourself, right?
I think a slightly more nuanced way to put it is, if you can overcome that fear and accomplish things that you want to accomplish but you're afraid to accomplish because of that fear, then you can that will make you a happier person.
Right.
I mean, on the other side of that coin, if you're a person who doesn't care at all what other people think, you end up going on a school shooting.
Yeah. I definitely think, I'm not saying disregard
Sorry.
people's opinions. I'm not saying disregard them. Take them into account, but don't let them affect your happiness.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's a certain middle ground of like, you don't want to be a douchebag, for lack of a better word. You don't want to be a douchebag and just like, other people's opinions don't matter. I'm just going to do what I want. Everything that I want is what matters.
Yeah, definitely not.
And that's just being selfish.
That's
but
chotch.
I feel like there's definitely a healthy middle ground where you don't let it affect you. You don't let it destroy you, but you also aren't like just recklessly doing whatever you want to do.
It's about having respect for other people.
Exactly.
And as long as you respect people around you and you don't see them as inferior, which I feel like many people around us, not in our friend group, but
yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, there's definitely some people around us that don't really care about other people outside of their friend group, or like they just see themselves as these like.
I've been recently. By the way, when we talk about these things, me and Barris are very flawed people. I don't want to get into my flaws, but there's a long list.
Oh, yeah.
Just like every other human. Everyone has a long list of flaws. And we're not like... don't take this as like me and Barris being like...
We're perfect.
Here's how we've figured out how to be happy, and
we're not...
It's easy, guys. Just do what we do and you'll be happy. Not at all.
We're not lifestyle gurus at all.
We're just kind of theorizing about...
No, not
we're just
one
kind
bit.
Of theory crafting.
And when I criticize people because I care about them.
And he's also criticizing himself and me.
Yeah.
We're all involved. He's criticizing humanity.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly do not see criticism as a bad thing. Yeah. When I criticize something, it means I care about it. I give it precious time.
Like, I give it 5 stars.
I'll give it my precious time to talk about, right? If I didn't care about you and I thought you were a trash person or trash thing, I wouldn't put out my energy to kind of give you criticism for you to grow, right? Yeah. No, not one bit. If I didn't care, I don't care about what you do. You're not. Who are you?
Yeah.
And that's one big thing that I feel like people don't do enough. Like, if you don't like somebody, you don't have to interact with that person.
Yeah.
Or interact as much.
Yeah. As I was going to say, kind of going down this self-betterment path and talking about interacting with other people, something I've been really consciously trying to do is recognizing other people's point of view more often, because growing up you kind of have this understanding that everything you believe is 100% correct,
right,
and everyone around you who you love probably agrees with you, especially as a kid. If your parents are religious, you're probably religious, etc. So I've been really trying to, even the most extreme of the extreme people have perspectives, Even the craziest people are actual people.
Yeah, have a valid perspective.
They're experiencing things. And something in their life led them to that. And I'm pretty sure we've kind of talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, with psychopaths and stuff.
But I've been trying to kind of widen who I can empathize with.
Right.
I guess is the way I want to put it. Because I feel like evil people I consider evil,
disregard other people's opinions or perspectives.
That's not what I was going to say, but that's also true. If you can't empathize with people you disagree with or see as evil people,
I see what you mean.
You're never going to actually fix the problem.
Right.
There was this girl in the Westboro Baptist Church. As a teenager, she was running the Westboro Baptist Church Twitter, and she started talking to these people who were being friendly to her.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Westboro Baptist Church Twitter, even I have tweeted harsh things at the Westboro Baptist Church Twitter, which I regret now. But these people were just kind of being rational and treating her like a human, and now she's left. She left the Westboro Baptist Church.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
Because of these interactions with people.
Yeah, you can't battle hate with hate, because I don't know,
It's
gets
a
nowhere.
waste of time. And I just wanted to throw that idea out there before we move
I
on.
know, I completely agree with you. You can't. If you want someone to be empathetic, you cannot approach them from a non-empathetic perspective.
Even facts won't necessarily persuade people. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been studies that show when people are proven wrong, they just hold even more firmly to the belief that's incorrect.
Or proven wrong in an incorrect fashion.
No. I mean, like, if you go into a debate and people can, like, scientifically prove to you that you're incorrect,
Yeah,
even
but
if
no,
it's
no.
logical, you'll just shut down and
Yeah,
you'll hold even more firmly to your beliefs. There's studies that show that.
What I'm saying is, like, let's say you're like 1 + 1 is 3, and I'll be like, no, you idiot, it's 2.
And they'll be like, okay, whatever.
You're like, whatever. But if I say, hey, look,
Connect with them first.
yeah, if you do it from a very like friendly perspective, like,
Exactly.
if you can empathize with them, it's
They can
gonna make it
empathize.
easier for
Yeah.
them to empathize with you, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm like, hey, great, I really value your opinion, but if you like, let's walk through it here. Look, let's if I gave you one apple, and I had an apple myself, and I gave that apple to you, how many apples would you have?
2.
Oh, look at that!
You really educated me, Darius.
I'm gonna leave the Baptist church.
All right, how do you feel about moving on?
I would love to move on.
I'm really interested in this topic, and I'd like to thank our patron, Alexander.
Hey, thanks so much, dude.
Wait, not Alexander.
Yes.
Andrew.
Wow.
We said the wrong Santowski.
Whoops.
I'd like to thank Andrew Santowski for recommending this idea. Talent. Are you born with it, or do you develop it? And I think this is a really interesting idea because a lot of people I look up to who are engaged in their craft or like giving other people advice about how to become experts at their craft say that there's, I don't know where this theory comes from, but there's this idea that there's a limit you can approach with like talent and just like, wait, no, I think I'm saying this wrong. Like,
No, I get you.
people with talent, they just start slightly
there's
ahead.
a ceiling.
And then there's a ceiling to how good you'll be naturally off talent. And really the people who put the work in are the people who will overcome those with talent. But at the same time, there are things that I've tried really hard to be good at, and I just can't be good at them, like League. Like, I mean, I'm sure if I put 1 billion hours into it, eventually I'd be good at League.
Yeah.
But, like, there are people who got good at League way faster than me, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I assume that some of that just comes down to natural talent and what you're good at and how your brain is wired.
I think I had a very interesting argument along these lines of is intelligence, do you attain intelligence, or are you just born with intelligence? And I think this kind
I
of,
think you attain it.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying as well. But this bridges on to this talent versus, I mean, do you like this talent conversation very well in the same way that when you were born, you're just, I think you're not even, I don't know, you're not even a human.
Yeah.
You're getting all these experiences, and all your experiences, every single tiny experience, every moment, microsecond of your life dictates who you are and what you are as a person.
Exactly.
A pencil falls on the ground in a weird way, that is going to affect your life.
Kind of.
Like,
and this kind of connects to a discussion we've had before about what makes people who they are. Wait, did we have that discussion?
Yeah, we have.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have.
Yeah, we have, 100%.
We definitely discussed it with the psychopaths discussion. But I think that's a really interesting point. And to build on what you're saying, I think that a lot of talent comes down to how you grow up.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you grow up, and as we were saying earlier, your brain is very malleable when you're young.
Yeah.
If you grow up and it just happens that the things that you're doing, like if you're playing video games when you're that young, you're going to be better at video games. And
right.
if you're me and you grew up around your dad drumming, you're going to be
Yeah.
Your brain is gonna be somewhat wired to recognize those patterns a little better.
Yeah, for sure. And you're gonna have those like pre-built connections in those neurological pathways. I guess that can be defined as talent.
Yeah.
But obviously, to someone who does not have those,
it's a natural advantage. Kind of.
If to someone who does not have those pathways pre-built like you, obviously it's gonna look like
you can
he's
build
very
those
talented.
pathways.
Yeah, you can. It's gonna be harder at
longer.
later ages because your brain isn't as malleable.
And everyone grows up, so everyone has something that they've experienced.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're homeless, you're gonna have a talent of being your own person and all those things.
For sure.
Like, no matter how you grow up, you're going to be good at things and you're going to be bad at other things. So I think to say that there are talented people and non-talented people is a complete misnomer.
Yeah, I agree. I am in 100% agreement with you.
Which is why I think that IQ is such a dumb measurement.
Oh,
because
for
it's
sure.
like it's a scalar. It's just one number. There's one dimension to it, and you just say this is you're almost like assigning a value to someone's brain, which is just weird. And
I think they stopped using IQ and they use IQ and the emotional IQ, I think.
Have you taken an IQ test?
I have.
When I took an IQ test to get into the gifted program at my old elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And man, what a weird test.
Yeah.
Like they test some of the things kind of make sense, like the critical thinking, but how is spelling? Like we had spelling.
Oh,
and
you had
somehow that was
spelling?
on the IQ test. Math kind of makes sense, but still a lot of that kind of has to do with how good you are at math, not critical thinking. And I just think a lot of the things that they put on the IQ test are just kind of strange. And I don't like, as a person who's taken an IQ test, I don't feel like your performance on the IQ test at all defines your value.
No,
in
not
any
at
way.
all. On my IQ test, I had a bunch of these like pattern recognizing things.
Did you have that one where it's like
This is where it gives 3 pictures, and you're like, "What's the connection between these 3 pictures?"
Similar to that? I had like a row of pictures, and there would be like 3 rows of pictures, and you had to. It was like 3 by 3 basically.
Yeah.
And you had to choose one from each row and connect them. So like, say it would be like, there's an umbrella in the first row, a beach ball in the second row, and like a surfboard in the third row, and you'd be like, things you see at the beach.
Yeah.
That was on there. I had one where we had these like cubes, and they would give me like a shape I had to make, and like the cubes were like half one color and half the other color.
Oh,
and you had to, like,
yeah.
how
Where
to
they're like
make
triangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
Did you do that too?
Yep.
So
I was pretty good at that.
what? Like, how does that? That's just how good you are at puzzles.
I think it's like problem solving and ability to interpret information.
What it comes down to is another standardized test.
Oh yeah.
And I think testing can only take you so far because
we're so different.
No way is humans value just how good are you at school.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before too.
Yeah.
But it's so complicated. So and to kind of bring this back around in a more concrete way to our original question, I don't think that any talent is more valuable than any other talent. It's kind of like humans as a collaborative effort have to figure out how we should move forward. And when it comes down to it, there are things that are more valuable to society, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are definitely talents that are more valuable as in like...
But when it comes down to it, self-worth and societal worth are kind of arbitrary. Like, I don't think you can put a value on a human.
Oh, no,
There's inherent value in the fact that you are having an experience, and it is equally as valid as any other person experiencing the same world as you, or the different world than you. I don't care if you live on Mars.
I don't care if you're Uranus.
That's right. We are Martian. We are Martian inclusive on this podcast. But I don't think it matters at all. Even if you were crap at everything, you would still be a valuable
There's
person.
no way someone's crap at everything because you're going to be good at one thing.
I'm saying you're going to be good at something.
Yeah.
Just because, and this is kind of like me and Barris's crackpot theory about how talent works. But as we were saying, you grow up, you do something.
Yeah.
However your brain happens to be wired is going to be useful for some task.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be something you enjoy doing as a kid, and that thing is going to kind of lead you down a path that's beneficial in some way to society, right?
Yeah. Dang, this podcast went fast.
Yeah.
That
was good. Wait,
yeah,
I was gonna say
that was a
something.
good talk. That was a good discussion. We got kind of impassioned at the end there. I feel like at this podcast, the first like 20 minutes was kind of rambly, but then we kind of hooked on.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, wait. I want to talk about aliens. Actually, you said Mars. Wait. No,
How do you feel about going for another half hour and then posting 2 parts?
I think we can post a whole thing. Because if we like split it up, it's not going to be as nice. Let's just do it. This is a very short conversation.
Okay.
I think this is one.
We're at 1:10.
Oh,
so we're already
Jesus.
10 minutes over.
Oh.
Do you want to save it for the next podcast?
Yeah, let's just save it for the next podcast. We'll write it
All
down.
right.
All right.
I'm
Thank you
writing it
so
down
much
now.
for listening.
What is the idea?
Oh, I'll tell you after.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Keep your eye out for
Our Twitter.
Keep your eye out for our Twitter at CairoCast Show or at CairoCast if we can manage that one. We're gonna have an Instagram, a Facebook. We'll have all that stuff covered. And yeah, I'm really excited for this next project. So I hope you guys are getting excited to see where we go to.
Yeah, continue.
And yeah, so I'm really excited for the future of not just this podcast, but the other things that we will start to do. And yeah, I hope you guys are interested in what's coming. Get excited for season 2. It's gonna be a different structure. We're gonna kind of figure out how we want to structure this podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna take all the things that we've succeeded with this first pilot season.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna apply it to the next season and just constantly improve the CairoCast.
Exactly. So if you have any tips or any favorite ways that we've favorite episodes and
For sure.
things that you really liked, let us know, please, because we want to take all the good bits, all the gold nuggets that we've discovered in recording this season, and we want to kind of shovel them into a bucket, and that's gonna be the second season.
Yep.
And yeah, keep your eye out. We're gonna be dropping some shareable images, some kind of promotional stuff, some just
cool
keep your eye
content.
out. And yeah, thanks for listening as always. Thanks especially if you're a Patreon supporter.
Oh yeah. So
if not, consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yep. I just want to shout out all our Patreon
You already did.
supporters once again because they need it. My mom. Thank you so much, Mom. Very much appreciated. I love you. Andrew Santowski. You're the fucking boy, dude. You didn't have to donate, but you did. Thanks so much, dude. It means a lot to both Gray and I. And then Spicy Cilantro. Thanks, man. I don't know who you are.
Thanks a lot.
If you are someone we know, please DM me. I'd love to thank you in person or over text.
Yeah. So, with that, have a good night, day.
One more
morning.
thing. One more thing. Last podcast we talked about Keegan's blog. We never shouted it. We never.
I put it in the description. But
you did?
In the description of the last podcast, yeah.
Oh, all right. Anyway,
it's birthdayDinosaur.com.
BirthdayDinosaur.com.
Check it out.
Yep.
He also has a Patreon. If you really like his content, you can support him on Patreon too. So, thanks for listening.
Thanks so much.
Have a good day, morning, night, evening.
Afternoon.
I don't know what time it is.
Good night if you're going to bed.
I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope if we helped you sleep, I hope you're sleeping well. If we helped you wake up, I hope you woke up well.
Wake up.
If we helped you get through a friggin', I don't know,
car ride?
Bored at work?
Airplane
long
trip?
car ride? Airplane trip? I hope we helped.
Oh, you can download our podcasts, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I
you don't have to be
enabled the downloads on all the podcasts. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks so
much, guys. You know how much it means. And with that,
goodbye.
we'll check you next time.
Later, guys.